Hello everyone, welcome to Shadow the Game. My name is Steven.
And I'm Andrew.
And today we're playing Lucidity, Six-Sided Nightmares. If you want to pick this up, there'll be a link down in the comments if you want to try it out yourself. And if you have any games you want us to play, put it down in the comments, because maybe then we'll play them. So, your quick rules rundown. Lucidity is, as I mentioned, the six-sided nightmare. We roll a lot of dice. We are basically dreamers who are going into the dreams and having nightmares, and horrible things are happening to us, and we slowly build up exhaustion, and we get more shadows in our different nightmare types: primal fear, imprisonment, envy, and depths. The point of the game is to get your power build filled out to 15 before the other player. You can die if you get hunted by a nightmare. You can turn into a nightmare and be on the enemy team, and you can still win that way. But it's just a lot of rolling dice, placing dice on your board in certain orders to do certain things. Make sure nothing too horrible happens to you. And, try to survive to get to 15 power, either as a dreamer or a nightmare. And whoever gets there first wins. Well, the person that gets there first ends the game. Everyone else gets to take one more turn. And then the game's over. Isn't that fun?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, at the end of any player's turn, if a player has 15 or more power, then every other remaining dreamer player takes a final turn before the game ends. Okay, so if one of us is a nightmare, one of us is a player, if I enter the game, you get one more turn. But if you enter the game, I don't get one more turn.
Okay.
Because only the remaining dreamer players get another turn. But hey, I can still win because whoever has the most power. So either you have escaped the dream world or you've become the most powerful nightmare and consumed all the others.
Aha!
So isn't that fun? Okay. So what we do first is we choose how deep we want to dream. What are you going for? Because there's these three different tracks, and they basically start at a higher number as you go along, and they go deeper, which means you roll more dice, which could be better or could be way worse. I'm going to go with the middle track, so I'm going to pick the 4.
Kind of want to go with the deepest track.
Ooh, Inception? Dream within a dream? Do it.
Let's go for it.
Give in to your hatred. So, I picked the middle track, which starts with a 4, so I pick 4 random dice. Andrew picked the last track, so he picks 5. So we have to roll these dice and resolve whatever we roll, but before we do that, we can put 2 back into the bag. Because while these dice do have stuff that kind of helps us, most of the rolls don't. It's more of like a survival game as opposed to like, oh, I can roll this and it does something good for me. It's like, oh, that does something bad. So I am going to get rid of a blue and a green. Put those back in the bag.
Do I keep one red? Get rid of both reds?
Reds are, I think they described them as, comes with the light, or it's like the risk versus reward.
Do a red and a yellow.
So then I will go first. So I roll 9. I rolled a yellow exhaustion and a shadow. We resolve the power, hunt, and exhaustion first. So this guy goes in my exhaust. If I ever fill this exhaust in the round, I lose my power, which is like my points. And then I have to put this in one of my shadow things. If we ever fill up with these shadow rows at the end of the round, we become the nightmare that is associated with it. But for now, I'll place this here, and if I place one there in the depths, I have to draw and roll 1 dream, which means I have to draw 1 random thing and roll it. No! And so then that is a 1 power. So it goes to my power track. It is now your turn. So we got 1 power, which goes in your power row, an exhaust that goes in your exhaust row, and then a red shadow, which means you may move a shadow on anywhere on your dreamer card to the hunt space. You want to do that?
No. No.
No, that's bad. If this hunt space ever fills up, which can only be rolled on red dice, I think, you lose the game. But for now, we now move on to checking if there's any filled rows, any hunt filled, exhaust, any of the shadows. There's not, which means that we draw again or end your turn. So at the end of like a round, we basically have a couple of choices. We can either, well, one, if you're ever exhausted, So if this exhaust row is ever filled up, you have to rest, which basically means that you either return one shadow, which is these eyes, to the bag, or all of the the sleeping icons from your exhaust to the bag, which basically means you've woken up, you're not tired anymore, you're not exhausted. If you're not exhausted, you can choose to rest. You don't have to. Or, like at the beginning of the game, which we're probably going to do, is you can go deeper into the dream, which basically means you move your sleep tracker 1 along this track, which means you roll more dice, which is more opportunity for points, but also more opportunity for bad things to happen. So I'm going to choose to dream again. Are you going to go dream again?
Go deeper.
Okay, so I get 6 random dice this time. Andrew gets 7 because he's a spicy boy. And then we get to choose to get rid of some. I'll keep the red, even though that's kind of scary. We will keep the greens are bad, but nothing really bad about the green right now for me. I like blues. Let's get rid of 1 blue and 1 yellow. 1 of every color. Look at that.
I'm going to get rid of a red and a yellow.
Oh, red. Okay. So I go first. I'm going to roll. So we resolve the power first. So that's just 3 power. Look at that.
What? No.
And then I rolled 1 blue shadow, which has to go here. That's scary. I'm getting close. I'm already getting close. So I have to draw and roll 1 random dream. That's 1 power. Ooh, I got 5 power, bro.
Come on.
Also, remember that you can spend these dice to re-roll dice, but it is your power. Okay, so now it's your turn. Roll. So power first.
No.
Exhaustion second.
Oh, come on.
And then you have 2 greens and a blue. You can resolve them in an order, but 1 at a time. What are you going to do? Okay, so you draw and roll 1. It's a 1 power. And then 2 greens. So re-roll 1 dream of the next player's choice. I'm going to have you re-roll your red die in the primal fear. No, I'm going to have you re-roll the red die in your power.
No.
That makes more sense. Give me a hunt. Oh, okay. Well, you don't have to resolve that immediately if you don't want to.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to do anything with it.
You may move. Oh, yeah. And then,
all right, you get to make me do it again.
Re-roll that red die again.
The same one?
Yeah, I'm trying to get you a hunt, boy. Oh,
2 power.
All of that, I took 1 power away from you and gave you 1. Rats. Okay. Okay. So now we check for filled rows. None of us have any. I'm getting kind of close to blue. I could become the nightmare of the depths.
I'm almost exhausted.
That's true. So you might have to rest soon. But you only have 1 more thing on the sleep track anyway, so you'll have to rest at the end of next turn anyways.
Yeah.
If you do that. So we check for filled rows, don't have anything. So we can either choose to rest or dream again. I don't know about you.
Dream again.
But mama don't raise no, you know what. So I get 8.
I get 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a lot of die. Oh, it's a lot of yellow. At least it's only 1 blue.
Ugh.
What are yellows? Oh, I rotate stuff and exhaustion. What is it? Yellow's a lot of exhaustion.
I got to get rid of 2 greens or else I'm going to become envy.
That's true. Well, as long as you'd have to roll shadow, but
yeah, but 4 greens.
Yeah, it's not great.
Probability.
I'm gonna get rid of 2 of those yellows. Oh, I can't. Oh no! Do I keep 2 reds? That doesn't seem good either. This is the problem with dreaming deeper, man. Okay,
I got 2 reds.
I'm gonna get 2 of those. Ooh, look at the power! The power!
No.
The power!
Jeez.
The power! And I get 1 exhaustion, but that doesn't really bother me. And then I may move an eye to a thing, but I don't want to. I'm so good at dreaming!
How'd you get all that power?
Oh! I'm a powerful boy. So
no.
You got 2 power. And you got exhaustion. Okay, so oh no, we don't check for filled rolls until you do everything. So you're good still. So what are you gonna do first?
I'm going to put that there. Do nothing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this here. Turn that to a hunt.
Turn what to? Why do you have to turn it to a hunt?
Because it would have been there. You may move one.
Oh, you're gonna move it.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow.
This one.
So you have to rotate one of those to a shadow, one of the exhaust ones, which means that when you rest, that one doesn't go away. And then a green. I'm gonna have you re-roll that. I could have you re-roll a green and try to turn you into a nightmare. I'd have a 33% chance that you'd turn into a nightmare at the end of the round. Let's have you re-roll the red 2 power. Dang it. Oh, that's fine. So then these move down. Ooh, you're in trouble, boy. You're in trouble. So if you have to roll a green, or if you roll a green or red shadow, you're turning into a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not looking good for your boy.
Okay. Okay, so we check for filled rows. So the hunt row, none of us have it. Exhaust row. If you have 3 or more dreams in your exhaust row, you're exhausted. Draw 1 random dream from the bag. That's you. Return it to the bag along with any power with the matching color. So what'd you draw?
Green.
Ooh. Those go bye-bye.
Power.
I don't have any filled rows. And so now we come to the end of the round. We both have to rest because we're at the end of our tracks. So by resting, regain some control. You either return 1 shadow or all the dreams from your dreamer card. So I'm going to get rid of my 2 dreams. So you can either get rid of your 2 moons or 1 shadow.
Or 1 shadow?
Yeah, any 1 shadow. So like if you're about to become, I mean, you have, I think do you have to? No, you don't have to get rid of your dreams. You could just be exhausted. So that next round you'd have to sleep rest again. So you wouldn't be able to go deeper. But you could just return either 1 shadow or all moons from your dreamer card.
Fine.
Okay. And so now we go back to basically the beginning, where we choose.
Man, I have no power.
No power. Cool. So now we have to choose which sleep track we want to go on.
I'll go middle.
I feel like I don't have to go anything but easy.
Yeah, you don't, because I'm probably going to turn into a nightmare. But
which would be bad for me because then you'd just be messing me up the whole time. But
yeah.
we're going to
steal all your power.
I'm going to go conservative. Oh, that's true. That'd be great. Okay, so I'm going to draw 3. Oh, two envies. Nice. And I'm going to get rid of 2. What are the envies? You get to reroll my stuff. No, thank you.
Get rid of the red and the green.
Oh. 1 power.
Oh, wow, power. Good for
Yay! You. I'm so powerful. Oh, you get 2 power.
2 power.
Wow, what a boring round. You're in trouble, though. Okay, so we've checked for filled rows. No one has any. And so now, do you want to rest or do you want to...
Go again!
Dream again. I want to dream again. So I take 5. Is that 5? Yeah. Oh, wow. This would be a bad draw for you. 2 reds. I guess you get rid of them.
I still need 1 more.
Oh, please pick a red. Pick another red. Do it. Green. Green. That's bad too. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of 2. I'm gonna get rid of the blues because I don't want to go. I don't want to go nightmare at this stage.
There's a red and a green.
I'm so close to winning. I want to be a dreamer. I want to be Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm just gonna get rid of 2 reds.
2 greens. What are the greens?
Greens have the most chance for power. It's like a 50.
And both reds and greens both have a 33% chance of a shadow and becoming a nightmare. You're gonna become a nightmare, bro. You're gonna become a.
No, it's gonna be all power.
Okay.
All power.
I'll go first so you can think about it. Oh. So power first. So that's a 2 and a 1. I only need 2 more power, and that's a hunt. I'm getting close.
Ah, it's over.
Well, it's not over. You can still win as a. So now which one are you going to resolve
I'm like
first?
a double.
Well, so if you put, so which one are you going to do first? 2 greens and a red. Because you're not going to go red if you don't want to, because you can just put that to a hunt.
Green first.
Okay. Reroll any dream of the next player's choice. Do I want you to become a nightmare? That's my question. Especially a green nightmare. You're going to steal my power.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to become a red nightmare, though. I could get you to re-roll that just so you don't become a nightmare at all. Because maybe I have a better chance of winning with you remaining a dreamer.
You probably would.
So I'll have you re-roll one of your green envy dice. And hope that it's...
Even though those are... Yeah, whatever.
Hope it's not... Okay, I'm fine with that. 1 power, no threat. What are you going to resolve next?
Do it again.
I'm going to re-roll that. Give it a power. Oh, dang it. Okay, well then you roll that.
Do what?
Well, I mean, you don't roll that. You place that, and then you want to turn it into a...
Turn into a hunt.
This is okay, so here's your decision.
Matters.
Well, so this is the thing. If you have a filled roll of a nightmare, it's whatever has the most. If it's tied, you get to choose. So you could put that in the hunt, because when you become a nightmare, it doesn't matter, and you want to become an envy one. Or you could leave it in primal fear, and then you can choose primal fear if you want to. So the Nightmare of Envy, when any dreamer will resolve a shadow or moon of envy, move it to your card as 1 power. Then you may choose either the dreamer re-rolls any 2 dreams of their choice, and you take the 1s and 2s rolled, or the dreamer re-rolls 1 dream of your choice. And then the primal fear is when a dreamer will resolve a hunt or shadow of primal fear, move it to your card as 1 power. Then you may move a shadow on their card to the hunt space of their card. What the hell? What the hell are you talking about, man?
I feel like that's going to give me the most opportunity to get power.
But
this would give me
the most
opportunity to hunt.
You could
die from the hunt.
Yeah, because anytime I roll I just would have to avoid primal fear. Because anytime I roll a hunt or a shadow, you'd move it to your card as a power, and then I'd have to move a shadow. You'd move a shadow on my card to the hunt space, which would only take 3 rolls to kill me.
Unless you can avoid the red altogether.
Yeah, and that's true. So, do you want the choice? I guess it doesn't really matter. You might as well put it in red, because you're going to become a nightmare, and then you have the choice if you want it. So, we check for filled rows. So let me just make sure I'm getting the rules right. Any player, check for filled rows. If you have 3 or more dreams in any shadow row, 4 or more in a 2-player game, you become a nightmare. You always become a nightmare of the color matching the most filled shadow row. If there's a tie, you may choose between the tied colors. Return all dreams on your dreamer card except for the 1 and 2s powers to your bag. Place the matching nightmare card over the shadow rows. Take all 1s and 2s of that card and add them to your power row. So
take all the 1s and 2s from what and add it to your power row?
I think there's certain situations where you put 1s and 2s on these cards, and so if you got that one, you'd get all those power as well. But we just haven't run into that yet. So do you want to become a nightmare of primal fear or a nightmare of envy?
I think primal fear.
Okay, so all these go away because you no longer get exhausted or getting hunted. And you're now a nightmare of primal fear.
Primeval.
How
primeval.
Lovely that is. So I don't have any filled rows. This sucks. This sucks.
Go deeper.
I mean, I'm going to go deeper because I want to try to go for the win. I only need 2 power to end the game.
And you resolve that first, so.
Okay. Well, I'm not resting. Full speed ahead! Hopefully I don't draw any things. So yeah, on your turn, you can either consume power, so you take one of my red dice and put it in your power thing, or you send your minions, which means you draw 2 dreams from the bag, return 1 and give the dice to me, and I must roll. You draw 2 random dreams from the bag, return 1 and give 1 to me, and I must resolve it. So I have to draw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, baby, get rid of that boy.
Mm.
No reds for the red man. And which one's the most power?
Green.
Green has the most opportunity for power, and I only need 2. What is Dream? Reroll one of your player's choice. I mean, that's not great. I want to keep the yellows. Blue's fine. So I just need to... That sucks. That sucks. That means you get to roll my stuff. Okay.
Yes.
So... Oh, yeah. So that's shaboing. Shaboing. Does the game immediately end? Let's see. And then this is rotate one of mine to the other face. Doesn't happen. Let's see if it ends immediately.
How did that happen?
Look
How
at
did you
my
roll
rolling.
so many power?
At the end of any player's turn, if a player has 15 or more power. So it's not... Is it the end of my turn? No. The end of my turn is when I rest, which is at the end of this round. So you get to go. So your choices are... Consume power, take a 1 or 2 of your color from my row, which even if you took the 2, these would just go there. Well, let's see. Can I go off? Like, can I go beyond 15 power? That's the question. If a row is full, place any additional dreams of that symbol adjacent to that space. Continue to apply shadow effects. The 4th space, yeah. So I just put it next to it. So they're there.
Okay.
Which seems to mean that I have 17 power. So even if you got rid of 2, which is the highest value, it would still be 15 at the end of the round. Or you can send a minion, which means you draw 2 random things from here and give me 1 to roll.
Well, I guess I have to do that.
I wonder, is there something that you would roll? I don't think there's anything that you could get, even if you did that, to stop me from winning. Because this would just make me roll another one. You get to re-roll one of these, but even if you re-roll the 2 and it turned to anything, I would still have 15. You get to move a shadow to a hunt space. So even if you move that, it would still be 15. You turned into a nightmare too late.
How did you roll so much power?
Dude,
like that's all you rolled.
I'm just a power machine. I'm just a power machine.
Made no sense.
I'm a power machine. Yeah, because at the end of a player's turn, if a player has 15 or more power. What are you throwing at me? A green and a red. So which one do you want me to roll? Hey, you can only draw 2. Which one do you want me to roll?
What's the green do?
Reroll 1 dream.
Green, sure. Yeah, roll the green. It's just gonna be more power. It's all it ever is. Yeah. Oh,
ooh. Reroll 1 dream of the player's choice. Which one do you want me to reroll?
Not that it matters.
I think it would have been more fun if you would have turned into a nightmare when I didn't have so much. Like if you would have had more turns as a nightmare, you would have been able to mess with me more. And that power
the red
roll.
2.
That power roll is ridiculous. This guy.
Shoo.
15. It is. I'm going to choose the rest, which means it's the end of the turn. I have 15 power. You're a bad nightmare. I escaped the dream world and I'm the best. Are you seeing if you would have been able to do something with it?
I mean, maybe, but you got rid of the one.
Good game,
You
bro.
drew the one
yes.
die that would have.